As someone looking to get into front-end web development, whether that be someone who is a back-end developer or someone who's just trying to start out on their front-end development journey, which one of these is going to benefit me the most? Is it React or is it Vue? Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume that you know what both of these are, but the TLDR version is React is like writing HTML in JS, and Vue is like writing JavaScript in HTML. But when it comes down to it, which one will serve you best when learning front-end web development fundamentals? Now, what we're going to do is break this down into categories: job opportunities, early learning, ecosystem, and pay. So let's see which one comes out best. Now, for job opportunities, the React job market is bigger, so you're going to get more job opportunities there. But as a consequence, it's going to be harder to stand out from the crowd. There could be someone you're going up against that's maybe had 4 years React development experience, and you're coming in there with maybe 1 or 2. Now, on the flip side of this, Vue, there are less job opportunities because it's a smaller market. Smaller market though means it's easier to stand out from the crowd. So if you get a good understanding of Vue, you'll stand out from someone who's been developing for a while and kind of knows Vue, but doesn't really. On this occasion, knowledge of the framework may be a benefit. So the winner for this one, it's pretty even, but if I had to pick, I would still say React. There are loads of resources out there that teach you how to learn React. This could be someone as a complete development novice or someone looking to switch development disciplines. So this is a big win for the early learning of React. Now, there are plenty of zero config solutions for React as well, which means you can get started really quickly. There are things like Gatsby and Next.js that make it really simple for you to get started with React. And this didn't always used to be the case either. Sometimes you used to have to get really far into the nitty gritty of the config for React to even get started with it. But React has been around for a long time, meaning that people have had plenty of chance to create stuff. Some things maybe not so good. So if you're learning React in a professional context, there is a chance that you could end up working on a legacy React app. That might mean that might stunt your React learning a little bit because you haven't got the environment to learn with something fresh. But in that case, what I would recommend is just do something by yourself. Maybe it's a little blog or maybe a starter kit for React, just so you can get to grips with it. Now, for Vue, there is a stricter path to follow when writing Vue components. By that I mean there's a prescribed way to write Vue components. There's a good set of options, but there's a well-guided path for when to use those options, so that will help the early learners of Vue. But don't let this stifle opportunities to innovate. If you feel like you know Vue and you want to push it a bit more and play, go and do that. But for the early learners, it is a massive benefit. Now, there are a lot of zero config solutions for Vue nowadays. There's things like Nuxt and Gridsum that make it really easy to get started with it. You just install it and away you go. There will be some instances where you might have to work on a legacy Vue application, but to be honest, I've found that few and far between in the professional world. So the winner for early learning, I would put my money on Vue. Now, React has a big ecosystem. There are plenty of opportunities to make new things. My advice would be to embrace that ecosystem, explore and find what works for you. Yes, there is a well-established path to make things with things like Next and Gatsby, but you've got to find what's right for you, and without having a look, you're not going to know. However, because this ecosystem is so expansive and large, it can be easy to suffer from decision fatigue. Sometimes you end up spending so long making a decision, there is barely any time left to do any development. So play, learn, and see what works for you. Now, Vue does have a big ecosystem. It's just not as big as React's. Now, there's still adequate choice for common libraries like routing, state management, animation, components. They're all there. There's just less options than there is for React. So on this occasion, I would have to say the winner is React because of that bigger ecosystem. Now for the uncomfortable one, pay. In general, React developers with low experience are going to get paid less than Vue developers with the same level of experience. So if you're wanting an early shot of cash, learn Vue. That is going to mean you're better off in the short term. However, in the long term, after a few years, I've found that it evens itself out. So after like 5 years, you're probably going to be earning the same whether you learn React or Vue. So the winner, in the short term, you would learn Vue, but long term, it's a split. Now for the overall winner, being real, There's not a lot in it. And the good news is, if you learn one now, there's lots of transferable skills between the two. So you could learn one now and then further down in your career, learn a different one. But the people need a winner. And if I was starting out again, I think I would still pick React. I think it's got a better ecosystem. And I think the early learning opportunities are so great. There are so many opportunities and such great resources for learning it. Vue is still great though, and you certainly wouldn't regret learning it. But if you had to pick between the two, I would still pick React. I hope that was useful. Happy deving, and I'll see you again next time.